Welcome back, everyone. Today I'm with
Yeah.
a very special guest, the
Yes, sir.
one and only Smooth.
Smooth, man. What's up, bro? How y'all doing?
And so you're from California. Where in California
Yes, sir.
again?
South Central, man.
South
Born and
Central.
raised, Los Angeles, California, man. Right in
Dude,
there.
dude, I've been checking out your music. The Calabasas song and then the other one with the blue background and like the photo. The
I'll treat you right. Yeah, man.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Those
Oh,
songs are
yeah.
dope.
Man,
And
thank you, man.
it seems like you're making some good connections. I checked your Instagram, and I don't know anyone who like credits an artist for taking the picture for them. When you had Garen like credited for the picture, I was like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah. Yeah, man. That's fam, though. Garen, that's actually my cousin, bro. My blood,
What?
like first cousin. So, yes, that's family, man.
Oh
Oh,
shit,
yeah.
dude.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
he's been making music with like Kaz and Little Boosie and all those guys.
Man, he's been around. He's an inspiration, one of my musical inspirations, actually, for sure. Him as well as some of my other family members. I'm like little brother, little cousin, like watching them, and now it's my turn to like really do what I got to do. So it's dope to have
Wow.
greatness around. You know what I'm saying? It helps the process
Mm.
tremendously.
So did he kind of
Yeah,
help? Did he help share his connections at all with you at all, or how did that all work with like?
for sure. Well, it's like it's one of those things where they're, as far as family goes, and anyone that's great, they're going to want you to be put in position to really actually maximize whatever it is that they have to offer or whatever it is they have to like help mold you and push you to where you got to go. So I think once I was ready and once the time, really came to where it was, they definitely lend helping hands when necessary. So that's dope, bro, because it's a blessing for
For
sure.
sure, man. So how'd you get your start in music?
Man, church, first and foremost.
Oh.
Yeah, dad's a pastor. Mom was a missionary, so I grew up in church 3-4 times a week in an actual church building. And then my dad had the choir, of course. I was in choir, and then coming up later in the years, I started playing, and I'm a musician first, so I ended up playing in church, and then started from there.
Dang, man. And I love your voice. How did that come about? Like some people are kind of nervous to actually, especially put out music with like a voice. Like a lot of guys, when they're putting out their first songs, are like, you know what, I'll just do a rap song. But like to actually feel
Yeah,
comfortable with your voice doing an R&B song, like,
yeah, man. So my producer TK Kayembe, man, he actually heard my sound because I was in the session with one of my cousins just there, just fly on the wall, and he heard me sing something and really was just like, "Yo, do that again," and it all started from there. So honestly, I've been in a place of like chasing my own sound, so it became to be a comfortability thing for me, as opposed to like running from it and not wanting people to hear it. It was like
mm,
the total opposite. It was like, "Yo, this is different and it's me, so let me just go ahead and keep going and share this with the world," eventually. So
yeah,
it's the
dude,
complete opposite for me.
that's dope. And
Yeah,
so when I looked you up on like SoundCloud and then like the other streaming services, it switches
yeah.
between Smooth and Smooth Don't Miss. So
hmm
which one do you go by usually?
So I just name wise smooth, but brand wise smooth don't miss. It's a lot of marketing opportunity that's going to come along with that regarding the merch. And now I'm going to really be doing things, and so I'm looking forward to doing that. But just as name wise, smooth is cool. Either way, it's dope. Smooth.
That's dope. So what
Yeah,
can you give me a little insight on this merch ideas that you have?
man, it can be any and everywhere, bro. I'd rather just wait until it all comes to fruition before.
Mm,
But when I do, you'll be in the top
hey,
to receive whatever it is that I'm going to be putting out there for sure, without a doubt.
dope. So do you
Oh
have a
yeah,
team? Do you have a team set up and everything like that? Because like I was able to get
man.
in contact with your press manager and all that.
Right, right. So thankfully, man, I definitely have a team that I've been rocking with since 2017, since end of 2017. Once again, TK, my producer, I have a manager that I also have a couple other managers that help really put the scene, make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, stay on top of me, making sure that I'm, maximizing my 24 and making sure I'm growing as much as possible and whatnot. So I'm thankful for that. But yeah, having a team is very helpful, and I'm glad
Mm,
that I could say that I have one, and not even just have a team, but people that actually know what they're doing, and I trust their vision in every way. So that's a plus, a big plus.
that's for sure, man. Do you focus on when with some people they kind of fail at the beginning of a team by making it so it's more of like a friendship with their managers versus more business wise? How do you manage your team?
It's interesting because we it's all business, but because we're all like minded in the same sense, it just kind of gels, and then it creates this perfect marriage of work and business and friendship. But it wasn't like, oh, we were searching for friendship first. It was like, oh, this is work, work, work. But because of the caliber of personnel that are around me regarding my team, it's dope to have those elements in there as well, you know,
Mm.
makes it easier.
So how have you been promoting your music lately?
Socials. So actually my IG Smooth Don't Miss, anywhere social media, Smooth Don't Miss, out there. And of course, all streaming platforms, Tidal, Spotify, Apple Music, you know, everywhere you can find music, YouTube, anywhere. Audio Mac. Yeah.
Audio Mac, dude. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a gem right there.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like putting out music and everything like that, are you kind of being weary right now during the quarantine, or do you think it's a good time for people to be putting out music?
Well, I think it's a dope time because people are definitely listening and watching, you know, and really consuming content. I think regarding me, like I said, we started, TK, my team, we started September 2017. We didn't release my first record until late last year. And so it's just been, we know and we recognize my sounds kind of different, and, you know, I'm doing my own thing, which is dope. So just make sure timing is right, and make sure we're packaging it in the appropriate way, you know, to where it can be received at the greatest capacity.
Yeah,
So,
dude.
yeah.
Timing is everything, you know. How did
Man,
was
yeah.
was that kind of rough for you to hold on for so long? If you made it in 2017 and now 2019, like
Man, it will definitely be eating you up at times, but that's what goes back to really trusting your team and trusting the people you have around you, because they're constantly here making sure I'm aware that, yo, just relax, keep growing, keep doing what you're doing. We're going to take care of everything when it's time, but what you can focus on is growing. And I appreciate that, you know, because it would definitely be like, yo, let's put this out, let's do this, because of the excitement of making like a very dope record or having X, Y, and Z, especially being new, being fresh, you know. So it's like it's a balance that I have. So I'm not really like heartbroken that I'm not putting anything out, because I understand due to the great management that I have.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
man.
what have you been doing during this quarantine? Have you been writing at all, or what are your main
Man,
focuses
during
during this?
quarantine, I've probably been growing more during quarantine than any other time. I've like 10, at least 8 to 12 hours a day is dedicated to music or being in the studio or writing or whatever the case. So I've been taking full advantage of the quarantine as much as possible, safely, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, definitely. I'm looking forward to, I think what this time is going to do per quarantine is really separate who's been putting what time where and prioritizing what. Because once this is over, you're going to see people come out of nowhere and fly out the gates with whatever it is they've been scheming on, bro. So I'm super excited for that. But I'm also not going to wait for quarantine to be over. We're going to release a record probably in a couple weeks. So my third record. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's dope. Are you for when you're releasing singles and everything like that, is it going to lead up to an album, or are these just going to be free flowing singles, or?
Eventually, man, I think we're going to keep rolling out the singles, man. We've been working, like I said, TK and myself, we've been working for a couple of years, just really just getting vibes and getting creative and really just seeing how far left, how far right, how much down the middle we can go with a lot of these records. But eventually the project will come, though. That's a fact. But it's also not something that we're forcing and trying to like whatever. We're just working and let everything just come out as it is.
What have you been doing to like stand out being in California? Because, you know, there's so many artists there. Like everyone thinks they can be the next person.
I think it goes back to what we're saying about timing, right? Because we had a record, we did Calabasas like at the end of 2017, if not the beginning of 2018, right? We could have put that out anytime before then, but it's just, I think one thing about LA is because it's oversaturated with dope talent and a lot of musicality, it's like, yo, I got some dope, let me put it out, as opposed to the route we're taking, where we're just taking our time and building a good a solid catalog of music and then putting that out, you know, one at a time. I think that is a smart route that's different from what's happening out here, because of it's like a crab in the barrel mentality almost, where you got some dope, you just gotta put it out. So we're doing the opposite and just waiting, stacking, building a foundation, and then we're gonna, you know, put it out at the appropriate time.
Yeah, man, for sure. I think that I always tell everyone the best artists are the ones that actually come from the church, you know, because they start out really young, they're musically gifted, and because you know, there's always some artists that they actually do make it too, but there's those artists that think as soon as they get a laptop and a mic, they're the next to blow.
Yeah, man. I think there's a lot of groundwork, and that's what I'm saying. I'm very thankful that I've come from a family of a very large musical background, because I'm able to see and sit down and watch and learn. So before I was even in the trenches myself, I was watching the 7 closest people to me do it and really, you know, go full force into doing what they have to do. And so watching that gives me somewhat of a different kind of piece that probably the next artist wouldn't have, you know, and it doesn't have me in this place of like rushing and trying to just move. because I'm able to see, so I'm very grateful for that aspect of it, for sure.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I haven't talked to anyone that's like, timing is everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, for sure. Like it's crazy because, like I said, you can have a really dope record, put that out, and then without it could have something happen that fast, and you don't have anything to back it up. So we're going about that the complete opposite way, and really just making sure we're going to be prepared for whatever comes, whatever falls, wherever the chips fall.
Mm.
Yeah,
Do you
man.
have, so do most of your inspirations come from like inside your family? Are there other artists that you look up to that you've been growing up listening to, or?
Both, mainly family for sure. But most recently, I've been digging into like so many artist catalogs and really just like trying to understand. I don't want to be one of those artists that just think I came up with everything or whatever. I would love to pay homage to everyone that came before me and all the trickling effects of those artists, like the Michaels and Marvins, even like church-wise in the gospel realm. So I listen to a lot of music, but out right now, I believe Sid, Drake, Bieber, could be all over the place because I listen to like a lot of music, different genres, everything.
What'd you think of Kanye's gospel album?
Man, I think it's dope. I think it's super dope, honestly. I think it's a hard pill to swallow given the past, but I'm personally not someone to judge because only God can judge us. I firmly believe. So he gets a pass, and what he did is like groundbreaking on different levels. When I explain it, it's like he did the inverse of what Kirk Franklin did. I don't know if you're familiar with Kirk Franklin, the gospel artist, that he turned a lot of the secular music into gospel music. But he did it in the 2000s where he had that Stomp record. He had a lot of like dope records that people in the church were like mixing to the secular realm. So Kanye's doing the opposite and bringing the church to like the forefront of hip hop, like the world's eye view. And man, that's crazy. That's dope to do. It takes a lot to be able to do that. Pull it off and be dope and make it sonically make sense.
Like, yeah, dude. Like,
I respect that.
Yeah, he has such a big platform that like anyone's gonna listen to what he puts out, which is dope. Like they'll give him a chance, that's what everyone wants to strive to be at that position.
Yes, sir, for sure. And he's genius at what he does. So it's not like he's just attempting. No, he's attempting and also like capitalizing and really putting the hammer in the nail and making sure it's like dope. And like as a creative myself, I see that, and it's inspirational and motivating for sure, without a doubt.
Yeah, dude, I got a Kanye shirt on right now. See, faces is dope.
Oh yeah, man. He's definitely won't be forgotten about in the music room for a very long time, if not ever.
So with your music, are you kind of trying to lean towards like a gospel sound at all, or what are your goals with your music?
Honestly, no, man. I'm honestly just trying to make music for the world, bro. Like personally, I'm not trying to stick to just R&B or hip hop or trying to, make music for the world, because what I'm trying to do is really change the world and touch the world through my music, and not just sonically on the ear candy. Like I have a dope message that I feel like the world needs to hear. And everything that's happening with the quarantine and everything is like preparing me and for what I'm trying to do. It's like the perfect thing that's happening. So I'm really just trying to capitalize on that and make sure I'm in a place where I can touch as many souls and as many ears as I possibly can, regardless of genre. So that's where I'm at with it.
So is it important for you to become like a big inspiration, or are you more of one of those artists that are like, oh, I just want to support my family? Or
I think the family thing's dope. My drive is really trying to pour and shift a little bit more of love into the world. I think a lot of artists are it's all about me. It's all about the jury. It's all about the nice materialistic things, which I totally get if that's where you're at with it. But I'm really trying to just change minds and like have people be more acclimated and more open to thinking a certain way and being more open. It's not about the materialistic things that offer me. I think if I can have the platform that I'm reaching and going for without having to show my face, I'll be totally fine with that. But I think for what I'm trying to do and having the influence to do what I'm going to do, it's necessary, and that's more so what I'm drawn to, just having that platform to change lives and touch people. So that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, dude, and you definitely have the capability to do that, and being patient and timing is very important.
Yeah.
But that's crazy, because a lot of artists, because sometimes you hear people saying it's just important to put out boom, 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 whether it's a freestyle or an actual song, and then other people are kind of taking the slow, patient approach, and I think both are like really important to take, you know. So
For sure. It's up to preference. I think personally, myself and my team, we're all about quality over quantity, bro, because at the right time, people are going to hear the right record and go back. And then there's a track record of just dope, dope, dope. How did I not hear this type of situation? And I'm okay with that. I'm young. I'm super young. I'm just turned 24. So I have time, you know, for whatever that can sound like. I have time. Yeah.
So is it important for you to connect and like collaborate with other artists, or do you think for you, yeah?
Definitely. That's what I've been doing during quarantine. I've been in sessions just writing, getting my writing chops up, producing and collabing with a couple artists in quarantine, really just growing in that way as well. I think it's dope to have your own idea and have your own, you know, this is how I go. But when you have another influence of someone that's going to think outside of your norm and take you out of that place of comfort, it's really going to stretch you. And that's how comfortability works anyways. I think Denzel said ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. So it's like, well, I take the easy route out and do what I'm doing. And I can have someone take me out of my comfort zone and stretch me and push me to be a better version of myself. I'm always down for that. Like, super, super.
Yeah, dude, I think you're really on a good path. And I think I already enjoy your music. And like I said, there's some artists that you can tell like the growth is maybe just the sound of like, sometimes the beat's too loud and the vocals are not loud enough, or like the production is not there. But I think for you, what it's going to be is the actual just like growth in your voice and like what you're saying over time, you know?
Yeah, man.
Those songs are really well produced, for real.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, man. TK is a mad scientist, man. We're very like-minded in the way we create, and he's a perfectionist, and he's one of those cats that he hears it and he knows what he hears, you know? And I'm grateful for that, because it could be the complete opposite where we're both guessing, like, yo, is this what it needs to be? But no, he's one of those cats that are like, oh yeah, we're here with it and we're gonna run with this. So having someone like that in this like very delicate process of growing and building a foundation, I'm like super, super grateful for it. No matter what level I get to on this like fame and the charts, whatever, I'm always gonna be able to like thank him and thank my team, and that will never change. Yeah.
And being pure, you know, you want to be pure in your intentions.
For sure, man. That's a fact. And I mean, that's why I think my music is going to hit in a different way, because you're going to feel this genuine atmosphere and the vibes that come with that. It's not just an act. Like, my music will line up with who I am. Like, everything is married to each other. It's not, none of it is like fake. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, for sure, man. Well, what is some advice that you have for artists, for up and coming artists, creators, influencers?
Man, what we've been talking about: time, collabing, and then finding the right people that have your mission the same, like a like-minded mission in mind, that will also like not only push you but sharpen you and make sure you're going to be best equipped to do whatever you have to do, whatever direction you got to go in. You're going to be on your way to that, you know. So those three things are, I think, super key. For sure.
3 keys to success.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure. Well, what is the easiest way to reach you, Smooth?
Man, you can find me on IG, Snapchat, Instagram, or I said Instagram, Twitter, everywhere at Smooth Don't Miss, SMOOTH, Don't Miss, DONTMISS, everywhere. You'll be able to reach me from there. Yeah, I'm super down. DM me, do whatever you gotta do. I'll reply.
For sure, man. And I think
yes,
your music's definitely going to be a hit for the ladies. You know, like I think you're dope voice, man. I'm telling you.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. I think it's interesting. This is gonna sound crazy to you. Think about it, but it's like I make my music for women, for men. Like, I want to make sure that I give men a voice to still stay masculine and all the things they want to do, and also be able to express how they feel in a way that will be listened to from even like the most delicate female, you know? So I think that's a big goal of mine, mainly.
Yeah, dude. Like I said again, you're definitely on the right track, and I was excited that I got the chance to talk to you, man, because I know like down the road, I'm gonna look back on it. You're gonna look back on it and be like, oh shit, I interviewed that guy.
Man. We got to do this whenever I got anything coming out, man. I'd love to like debut it and do everything, throw everything your way. Make sure you get merch. Make sure you get everything, man.
For sure, dude.
Keep full circle moments going, man. It'll be dope.
Yes, I'm all about making long-lasting connections, and at the end of the day, I wanna connect everyone in my podcast. You know, like
for sure.
It's a huge community. Music's a huge community.
For sure. So thank you for opening up your platform and having me. Like, that's a blessing. You definitely didn't have to, so I'm grateful for that.
For sure, man. Well, this is the Nast podcast with
Smooth, man. Thanks for having me.